So I just want to come on here, get this one off my chest, man. Been digesting this recently of the truth, to say the least. I've been digesting it. And honestly, I feel like it's pretty simple, man. The truth is simple. So I'm going to try and outline it here real quick. The truth, quote unquote, is that all is one and one is all. I've said it before, I've said it plenty of times. And from there, once you can recognize that literally you're me, I'm you, every single person out there is you, essentially. If you can swallow that fact, digest that, how are you going to act? Well, obviously, I'm going to act according to a way that is aligned with that truth, that is me. So I'm not going to hate myself. I'm not going to destroy myself. I don't think that's not wise to do so. So I'm going to act out of love. There's no other way. It's like the truth is almost like a two-step process, I see. It's like once you can swallow the fact of it's all me, including other human beings, especially other human beings. What am I going to do about that? Well, I'm going to love other human beings because I'm going to love myself. That's putting it very simply, man. That's the truth. And it seems like a cliche in the New Age movement. It's all one, bro. But is it really? Like, we live in a world that doesn't know that all 7.5 billion, I don't know how many people there are on Earth, all 7 billion people, we're literally all one entity. And we don't know that. And we definitely don't act like that. But the truth is, the truth, like the capital T truth, as I see it, as we can recognize and embody it in a human form, is recognizing that there's no separation between you and I. It might seem like it, but physical locality doesn't matter. We're all in this one stratum of energy that is not constrained by locality, by space and time. What's up, Studio Roysto FM? What's up, man? Welcome. So once you can grasp that fact of locality not mattering, that's when you can swallow the fact that all human beings are one organism, just acting in a illusion of space and time. But essentially, space and time are also it's just a mirage. If you can have that direct experience of grasping that, then there's no other way to act than act according to the law of love. I mean, that's if you want to act out of a sort of way that is not an inertia to your own being. You know what I mean? If you want to stay aligned, if you want to not suffer anymore, essentially you got to get with the program. And getting with the program is recognizing that we're all, in a way, in this program. We are all the program. We're all one, man. Yeah, like I said, it's not hard to say it, right? We're all one, so what are you going to do about it? You're going to love. But it's hard to really grasp that and feel that in your being. Because if you don't know, then you don't know. If you don't feel it, then it's hard to, like, me just saying this right now, which is, kind of hypocritical. Me just saying it isn't really going to do anything to anybody that has no idea what I'm talking about, right? But I mean, why not say it? Why not at least try to convince somebody somewhere out there that has or hasn't felt it, right? Literally, me and you, man, me and you, we're the same thing. Even if you don't feel it, you will someday. maybe if it's not even in this life, when we die. Thanks. Yeah, it's a what kind of mic is this? I don't even know actually. It's some kind of Rode mic. It's supposed to be like an old school microphone, like get that old tube sound. Yeah, I mean, when we die, that's probably when we'll feel that unity. Honestly, man, I think that's what it is. But you can die while you're living. Essentially, it's kind of like the concept of dying before you die, and it sounds scary, but it's actually not. It's actually freeing. It's actually liberation. If you can consciously die before you die, there's a Sanskrit saying for it. I don't remember what it is off the top of my head, but if you can die before you die, reach a samadhi state, then essentially that's what I'm getting at. Then you can just go with the flow. Essentially, then you can just be happy. I know it sounds cliche, but you can find a sense of peace. It's you literally your idea of your ego, your physical vessel, just sort of melts. It sort of just dissolves into the greater aspect of your being, which is everything in everyone. And from there, you follow the current of love, and that's the truth, man. You just kind of like, you don't disappear, like you don't actually die and go into the void of nothingness, but it's like your idea of what you thought you were, of where you have to be or what you have to do in life, or this idea of building up this life of who you think you are or who you were told you were, that just disintegrates into the greater aspect of I guess you could say the idea of your true identity, which is kind of like, if you want to use the G word, morphed with God, morphed with the creation, you can say, morphed with source, the ultimate, whatever you want to call it. You're morphed with your identity becomes a lot greater than the body. So it's like you still got to do what the body does. You still got to take a shit. You still got to brush your teeth. You still get hungry. You still get horny. But it's like everything that you do in the body, you do according to a sense of being aligned to the current of life, which is the current of love. So it's just like, it's like you're still human, but there's another side of you that orients yourself to another a higher state of being human, a higher state of light that comes in through your body. And then from there, yeah, man, like I said, what it's all about, you become a little bit happier. That's our only way. What do you think happens when we die? Dude, that's another cliche question. I mean, if you really want to get into it, our physical body, when we die, I think we just reincarnate. I think we just like there's no end. It's just kind of like we die and then boom, we were born again. Like life and death is the same thing. End and beginning is the same thing. Like you can't, a lot of people think death is the end, oh no, the void, infinite darkness. But think about it like this in a dualistic sense. Like you can't have something without nothing. You can't have nothing without something. Like there always needs to be the essence of something, which we can feel right now, which you and I can feel, right? This is something, right? There's something, but you can also feel nothing, which is the idea of death that you brought up. So we need to have both of those ideas in order to have life. We're like in order to have consciousness, we need to have the idea of, oh no, all is gone forever. And we also have the idea of the opposite of that, which is life here and now happening. Hopefully that made sense. So what I'm getting at is that there is really no such thing as this idea of death that we built up. Like there's no such thing as the idea of the infinite void, because in order to have that idea of the infinite void, we also need to have the idea of infinite life. You can't have one or the other. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting at, man. Hopefully that made sense. It's like in a certain state of consciousness, life and death become the same thing. So it's like if you're going to fear death, then you might as well fear life also at the same time. Yeah. That's kind of what I'm getting at, man. But like I said, the truth is simple, man. The capital T truth is to see that there's literally no separation. There's no separation between life and death. as I said, and there's no separation between you and I. You think that there's because we, the sense of myself ends here at my skin, right? We think that's our boundary. It's like we end at my skin, and because you're in your own skin, we are two different conscious beings. When really, it's like we're just two different nodes of the same conscious being. And if you just look at a level of energetic vibration, like if you look at life as in like you disregard the physical matter of our bones and our skin and the structure that we see and feel and taste, and you can feel the current of energy in between two beings, then that's when you can feel the connection. Like when you don't limit yourself to your skin or even your brain, when you can just see yourself as a sort of motion that flows between all beings and all things here, that's when you can sense the similarity between all of us. You see yourself as a motion. The neurons, the atoms, the cells, they're all working right now. Literally, they're all working in motion. Billions of chemical reactions, billions of neurons that are firing off right now without our conscious decision. When you can identify as like that force that's driving all of those chemical, molecular, atomic reactions in our body, that's keeping us, that we think is us, alive. When you can identify as that and see yourself as that, then that's the essence of being able to see yourself, which is really not even a sense of self, but if we're using the language that I'm using now, you can see yourself in others and other things. Because if you can see that, feel that current of the cells in your body, the atomic happenings of everything, you can feel that within yourself, right? Then you can see that in everything, in nature, trees, the water flowing, the whole entire earth. And then, you can essentially feel yourself melt into the spirit of the earth, the essence of the earth. And then you can even go greater into the greater universe, and you can feel that pulse, that pulsating current, the Tao, maybe you could call it, in the entire universe. And you realize that that's our being, bro. That's what we really are. It's this undying, infinite current, this pulse that's just happening, and it's just flowing, and it never ends. That's what we are. And that's how we're all connected. We're all connected through this unseeable, really unfallible force, like the force in Star Wars, essentially, man. That's kind of what it is. That's kind of where George Lucas got it from, the Tao. That's what our true nature is. But truly, our true nature is unspeakable. But if one could use words that are kind of close to it, it's that we're all unity, we're all one, we're all this flowing motion, this current. You think we return to our spiritual creator. In a way, yeah, that's kind of what it is. But it's like it's an evolution of that, right? It's like we return, but it's a new return, if that makes sense. It's not like we're returning back to the old. It's like we're returning to a familiar place, but it's new. It's kind of like when the Pilgrims came from England. They were like, this isn't England, this is New England. You know what I mean? It's like something familiar but different. So we're returning back to the creator essence, God, you may say, but it's a new return. It's a brand new state of consciousness. It's a I can't even fathom it. I can't even speak about it. But it's like a whole way that is so unfamiliar to our five senses, and the way that we think about things rationally in a binary sense, in a dualistic sense. It's quantum, maybe even beyond quantum, I guess you could say, that we return to a state that is really, truly goes beyond rationale, goes beyond anything that I could say, think, feel, hear. It goes beyond, but it is a return. That's the thing. I think it's a return, but new. I don't know how else to say it. I don't know. Maybe I'm bullshit. Maybe I'm talking out my ass right now, but that's what it feels like to me. And but that's the thing, is you can feel that right now. If you tap in, you meditate, you do the things, right? You got the practices. Whatever you got to do to tap in, man. We can all tap into yourself, which is the body, the temple. Tap into the body. And from there, you can get those energetic downloads of connection, of unity. And it just flows into yourself, and you can feel that. Whatever, all the malarkey, all that stuff I just spewed out of my mouth, you'll be able to feel that within yourself. You'll be able to feel how we're connected. Feel how this is a return, how this is a remembrance of our true nature. We're so far gone. We're lost in the sauce, man. And what we're doing is we're returning to our true nature to be, yes, you can say one with the Creator. Coming into a state of union, coming into the light, whatever you want to say, man. But we're remembering. We're thinning the veil to our true nature, man. And the true nature is, it's all, we all have the same nature. We're all of the same nature. We're all of God. We're all special. We're all special. Exactly. Yeah, we live on earth and screwed our spiritual touches. Exactly. That's what we did. We're here now, the fall, right? We're in Kali Yuga. We're in the darkness. So we gotta reap what we sowed. We got a lot of karma to go through. But we can do it. We have no other choice now. We have to go toward the light and embrace our uniqueness, right? Embrace our uniqueness here. We're special, but all the same at the same time. And that's the other state of consciousness, right? The other state of consciousness is being able to recognize our peculiarity as a unique personality, but then also recognize our unity behind the scenes. And if you can keep both of those in your head and orient yourself on that truth of uniqueness, but don't get lost in the ego and too much of a sense of self with the lowercase s, but also recognize the capital S sense of self. If you can recognize that, that's the flow. That's the dance. And from there, I can't tell you how to do that. I can't tell you how to go about doing that. We all have our own circumstances in this humanly form, but I think that's what we're supposed to do here, man. I think that's kind of it. Yeah, we got a lot of bad shit here, man. We're in the darkness. We got a lot of bad stuff that we're going through here on Earth, man, in this physical form. But what we truly are goes beyond all that cancer, STDs, radiation, and brainwash. Really, what we truly are deep down is a greater intelligence than all of that. You can see through all of that. Doesn't mean disregard all of that, for sure. We all got a lot of darkness. We all got shit that we're going through in our life, man. Like, we're all going through the struggle. It sucks. It fucking sucks. There's a lot of dark forces at play here, man. But what I'm trying to get at, man, is trying to show a little hope here. What I'm trying to talk about is this, to show a little hope through all of that, because that's not us. That's us. That's us in a state of distortion. That's us in a state of misalignment from this essence that I was talking about. All of the darkness is misalignment because we have free will. And all of the darkness, right? Get into it. All of that darkness is really just us, essentially. We fucked ourselves. We did it to ourselves, man, because we weren't aligned. Because, we ate from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. We got free will from that. And we exercised our free will in order to not be aligned with, a greater intuitive guidance. We decided to get into our lower chakras, our lower senses. And from there, we fucked ourselves up over generations and generations and generations and lifetimes, and went through the dark ages, and here we are, 2022, or they say it's 2022, and it doesn't seem like it's getting any better, right? It seems like we're just digging our hole deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. But that darkness right now is bringing to light our true being. That darkness that we've went through, and that we can witness that we've went through, and that we are witnessing currently that we're going through. Hello, Carlos. That darkness is the only way to find the light in our true being. Truly. It's the story, it's the yogic story of using Prakriti to find Purusha. Prakriti is like with all the darkness that we just described, the material world, the drama of life, Fox News, CNN, all the shit that gets spewed into us, Prakriti. It's all an illusion so that we can use that illusion to see through it and find our true being, which is called Purusha, which is like this it's an undying, unfallible, unseeable, untastable, unhearable self. That is essentially, if you can get that Purusha mindset, get the tap and then keep that, then you can in all situations of your life, in all suffering, all the darkness, all the rough patches of your life, keep that sense of your true self. You can tackle anything. Truly, that's the point of it. It's to be able to tap in, find that, and whatever happens in your life, know that it's almost like a joke in a way. We all have that, man. We all have that, and the darkness is pushing us to that. Every day that it goes by, it gets more dense, and this shit just keeps happening. And it's like, why? How is the world getting so dark, bruh? Well, the world's getting so dark so it can bring out the light. Okay, that's what's happening. That's the only way that it has to happen, because our world it functions through contrast, right? Like I said, the only way that we can see this light is through this darkness. So we're getting to a point. I was planning on keeping this video pretty short, all right? The title was The Truth is Simple. So I don't want to go off for too much longer here, but what I'm trying to say is all of this contrast and polarity is bringing about a new state. It's bringing about that light that was always within, because there's no other way. We're approaching a point where the world, you maybe, I, are going to see or are seeing that there's no other friggin' way to be happy here. There's no other way to conduct ourselves here. There's no other way to see your being. If you keep getting lost in TikTok, Facebook, Fox News, CNN, lost in the garbage, then you're going to stay lost on the hamster wheel of suffering. So it's like this. The choice is like coming down to, do I really want to be happy here? Which we all do. Or do I want to continually dwell in my suffering? Do I want to be a masochist? Right? Because that's what it is. We're addicted to our pain and our darkness. We don't know there's another way. So it's your choice. Like I said before, man, we have free will. We can keep going in the darkness. But if you want to keep emphasizing the lower chakras in your being, fulfilling your primal needs with no discernment, it's going to keep happening. At a whole, the world's going to keep going deeper and deeper in your own life. If you want to stay on that, you can. We have the freedom to do so. But then there's also another way. And the other way is to align yourself to essentially a greater good. And we all can do that in our own lives. So, summing this whole thing up, I went off on a tangent. I didn't mean to do it. But I did it. I did it. I done did it. The whole thing is recognize, go within, and see what you are. Your true being, your deeper being, is everybody else. You're connected to everybody and everything. As special as you think you are special. But as special as you think you are, everybody else is special too. We're all connected here. We're all this one unitary consciousness with billions of different nodes. Okay, so you can feel that energetically, atomically, molecularly. You can feel that. We can all feel that. Meditate, go within, maybe do a little bit of mushrooms. Okay, maybe go within, feel that, sense that, experience that. From there, you get the switch. You translate that into action. You orient yourself to that truth, to that fact of all is one and one is all. And that energy is called love with a capital L. It's love. Not like romantic love, although that does entail capital L love. But it's strength. It's truth. God, whatever you want to call it, man. connection. Orient yourself that way, and thus, peace, happiness. We create a better world. Seems like we got a long way to go. It seems like that's not the truth. It seems like there's only darkness coming. But like I said, man, we need the darkness to be able to see the light. So I don't got anything else to say. Yeah, man. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Hope that made sense. The truth is simple, man. It's all one, baby. It always will be. Other than that, yeah. Peace out. Wish y'all the best.